coach, Matthias Lidborn, and the topic of today is in suffering you will find life. So in this video I will explain to you how discipline and responsibility are interdependent and ultimately leads to a meaningful suffering. So for me, what I have always seen as the highest of value and have been the highest of value for me has always been that in which I had to fight for the most. And that in which has required a high dose of discipline and responsibility. And this applies to all parts of my life. In physical training, and when I had to change certain behaviors that required me to explore what those behaviors come from and then make the change. To be disciplined and responsible for one's own health through daily routines such as yoga, ice bath, meditation, breath work, and so on. And also restraint and not giving in to light pleasures or pleasures that give you fast rewards or act on destructive instincts. And also, of course, in my working life, as well as in relationships, and in connection with insights that required me to dwell deep down in thoughts and take action, and also reevaluate and burn certain aspects of myself in order for something new to be expressed. So here's a quote from Jung, Carl Gustav Jung, that I think fits very well with this topic. Where our knowledge ends, the higher insight begins. We all must take responsibility for our own existence and as well as for our own environment and our future heirs. Responsibility is only possible in the company of discipline. Discipline is based on your values, ideals, morals, and loyalties. And in our way in which how we view our being and the world, the everything. Without the foundation, discipline will not be possible. Discipline is affected based on our values, which will determine what strength it will have and what strength it will manifest itself in. It's depending on our willpower, and the willpower is affected by our own energy and our own power and our own libido. So to minimize a fluctuating life energy, discipline is required. The discipline to change our body, mind, and soul. To take care of our own darkness and light. To eat well, to walk, exercise, do work with the body, and to think, and to do what is hard, but paradoxically discover that the meaning is in our suffering, as that is how life is and how the world is. That in which has given you freedom has begun with discipline. What is or has been the most difficult for you to learn usually has a high value, right? And it enables freedom. So the price of freedom is discipline. And discipline generates a meaningful suffering. So you deal with suffering by accepting it and exposing yourself to it voluntarily. So step by step, you will be able to feel the meaningful suffering. So a meaningful suffering generates satisfaction. So you can start by looking around in your environment where you can take responsibility. Is there something you can take responsibility? And if your value is not sufficiently devised and therefore don't make you take responsibility and act, then start where you stand. It can be a basic stuff. Just start somewhere. ask yourself, what does your vision for the future look like? Where do you want to be, or how does your ideal future look like? So I want to end this harangue with two suitable and striking quotes from Friedrich Nietzsche. So I quote, "To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in suffering." End quote. So life is suffering. We should explore what the ideal is and thereby find a purpose. A purpose that we can suffer for, so that our heirs don't have to suffer as much as we did. And the second quote from Friedrich Nietzsche comes very natural. I quote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." So prefer a long-term perspective on life rather than a short-term perspective. I hope you found any value in this video, and if you did, you can always send me a new donation through PayPal, DonorBox, and also Patreon. And if it happens to be that you have a struggle in your life, or you have a topic you want me to bring up, or a question to me, you can always put it in the comment section or send me an email. And the email you will find in the description below. And if you would like to book a coaching session with me or take part in some of my training programs or diet plans, in which is of course personalized, you can check out my website mattiaslidbom.com, which you also will find in the description. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and also press the notification bell so you always get a notice when I upload a new video. And if you want some more content from me, please go ahead and visit my Instagram account, in which also there is a link in the description where you can click on. For more content, as I said, just click on that and you will be able to follow me and subscribe and so forth. Anyhow, thank you very much for tuning in this time, and I see you the next time. Bye.